Hey guys, RPG Tweaker from rpgtweaker.tumblr.com coming at you once again with my weekly update on the Emerald Spire adventure path from Paizo. Things are going well. The party has just cleared level 5, so they finished killing that last Undine and they healed up a bit. Now they've explored the last bottom corner of the map and they've gone ahead and found a little bit of loot, +1 adamantine, battle axe, some trinkets here and there. A scroll case with a few other things. They did have some books on some research about the portals that were on level 5 that were letting connection to the realm of water, and some stuff about the spire itself. But Gideon, not thinking that, oh, I'll just put them in my pack and then I'll go swimming. Guess what? You just ruined all those books. So be careful, folks. Reality is kind of a thing that happens to slip into these fantasy games here and there. So unless you have something that keeps your your stuff dry, it's going to get wet. So, the party has gone to level 6. They've had a brief little encounter with this using the Spire transport token, which allows transport from floor to floor, which is good because there's thousands of feet between floors. And at the time, the witch Changa had been bitten by a cockatrice, slowly being turned to stone, all that good stuff. So, the party's going to be a little wary. But if you've had any kind of experience with this, the cockatrices will be the least of their problems, as they have armor-plated minotaurs, automatons, and Clarkosh, the big bad evil genius who's been ruling the 6+ floors of the Emerald Spire. So he's not very happy with the party's progress and interrupting his plans. So we'll see how that kind of works out. Now I have introduced the mythic power to the players. The way I've done that is they all start to feel exhausted, and they're like, well, we just need to rest. They rest, and it's not getting better. So then they go and they start panicking, and they're like, well, we need to get back to Fort Inevitable, and then we'll find out what's going on. So they go and talk to Royce, who's like the resident quest giver. He pays them for their mappings of the Spire, buys any kind of little automaton things for them. So overall, the party likes him a fair amount, goes to him for guidance and such. So they're like, well, what's going on? He's like, well, I've had a friend who has had a similar problem like this from adventuring in the Spire. I'm not sure about the cause of it, but he did work out a cure that seemed to work quite well. So the party pays him for the reagents for this cure. They come back the next day, they drink it, and all of a sudden it basically bridges the gap into their mythic power. So now, the reason that the party is being exposed to mythic power is something that I want to try it, just to help the party out. As well as, try something different. I don't like having books that I've been given and not using them. So I've implemented it into this game. We'll see how it affects it. I'm going to guess it's going to raise the power level a little bit, but that also means I can slip in some mythic things of my own to kind of even the playing field. So the party takes their time choosing, for those who don't know, the mythic power gives you a couple of base abilities. Then you almost choose a separate class almost, but it doesn't stack with whatever or anything like that. It's basically be a trickster, be a champion, be a marshal, be an archmage, that kind of stuff. So Hierophant is another one, I believe. So each path comes with base abilities, and then they come with special ones you can take. There's mythic feats, mythic spells. There's universal abilities that you can choose. So if I'm an archmage, I can choose to pick this universal one, have a legendary item, be basically immortal, other little thingies, not needing to eat, breathe, and sleep, other stuff like that. The base abilities that everyone gets is that you stabilize at 0 hit points, well, if you're below 0 hit points, I should say, and you don't die full-on dead until you're double your con score in the negatives. So that's pretty huge. So it's called hard to kill. And then they also get their little pass and their abilities. Everyone's kind of chosen what they want to do. Our paladin was missing from the session, and 2 of our players were quite sleepy. So the game kind of wheedled off a little bit from there. We'll pick up next week and we'll go strong with it. The party has basically hit level 5 in terms of character level, and they've chosen their feats and they've done this. Gideon, on a separate note, due to all the experimentation and potions and other things they have given him, has turned into an Undine, just something I decided to throw out there, something to throw a little cog in his mix just to spice things up a bit. And he's lost his paladin powers due to him basically giving up and throwing in the towel with his god from previous session. But due to the experimentation and all that, he gains a level of sorcerer instead. Now, if he atones and if he meets the atonement requirements and such, I explained to him that the sorcerer level will go away, it'll be replaced by your paladin powers once again. He's actually quite happy to play a sorcerer with the aquatic bloodline. It's very cool. It gives him a whole bunch of little abilities here and there. He's quite happy with it. Some different build than what he was kind of expecting. Plus, there's some stuff that happens, like a dehydrating touch and stuff. It's non-lethal. He's into non-lethal for this character, so it matches up, and I really like what I've done with it. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. So, yeah. Oh, and Magda, my character, Magda Fireveins. I find that she's been helping the party out a little bit too much. Now, it's not me holding their hands and doing whatever. Sometimes the party is just not making a decision quickly, or they're kind of stumped. And as a player or GM, I try to be decisive, and I try and have everything as I say and do it. So it's even without the foreknowledge, if I was just thrown into the situation, I find that I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm very alert and aware, and I know what my options are. So I am very quick acting and whatnot. Personally, that's my opinion, but I try. So now that the party has a mythic power and whatnot, I think now I can kind of have Magda step out as being a main member of the party now that she has a long-term relationship with these people. They know she's a badass. They know that she's helpful, she's useful. So I've established that bond. So if something happens and if someone else takes over for some reason, or if something happens, then I have a character that can jump in without having to worry about how do I introduce or whatever. On a separate note, Gideon is now going to basically be like Constantine, if anyone's seen the movie or knows of the DC comic books, etc. So now, he doesn't know this yet, but his deity, Vildeus, tried to help him out of that situation where he's being experimented on, tortured and such, without too much divine intervention, because that's a bad thing. So, anyway, a different imperial evil deity kind of stepped in on his behalf, and it's Norgriber. Ones they had dealings with, not Gideon himself, but the party, so they had some dealings with it. So it's kind of like a way of revenge, since Gideon's traveling with them and he's kind of done the stuff for it. He's kind of pretending like he's Vildeus and doing some stuff, so it's going to kind of throw a little bit of a wrench in his plans, or see how it kind of works out. And the party is basically going to get, they have a little house that they all live in. It's going to get, part of it's going to get smashed, and Magda is going to become missing. And that's going to be my way of mysteriously being well, what's happening? So, and there'll be a kind of a cryptic note about the Spire and whatever else. So hopefully it'll motivate the party to go and try and save Magda, and they can earn some XP on the way and do anything along that line. So yeah, it was a shorter session because, like I said, I had some sleepy players, and leveling takes a little bit of time if you're not used to. Plus, checking on all the cool abilities of the mythic power and whatnot. Definitely check out the Paizo's PRD. And then also D20 PSRD, also very cool. So you can check out all about the mythic power. Paizo or Pathfinder are really awesome about giving most of their content away online for free. Wes Schneider recently posted on his Tumblr about, it's not about making all the big money and stuff. That's good, it keeps the lights on, but it's not. It's more about getting together with your friends, and you shouldn't have to break the bank doing it. So very cool company for doing that. Hopefully going to try and have a trip to PAX next year, and then hopefully try and stop at the Paizo offices if they let people do that. Hopefully they'll let a friendly Canadian guy in there. So it was good talking to you guys. I will give you another update as my session continues, and I hope you guys have a good one. Talk to you later.